This episode of the Reset Button is brought to you by Crumpy's Donuts. They're fucking donuts. With all the giggling. What's your dog doing? Is your dog doing something? Oh, you're giggling.
I call her a fucking bitch.
We're back! The Reset Button. It's going to be back again here on the Reset Button channel on YouTube. And yes, because it really sucks to just promote on like IG and Facebook, I made a Twitter specific, I'm not calling it X, it's a Twitter specific Reset Button podcast now. At Reset Button Pod on Twitter, so you can get all your updates, what's coming up, new episodes, all that shit. Give us a follow there. Hit the red subscribe down below. As always, it is not the Reset Button without the man to my immediate right or left, because again, he's via satellite, so he could be anywhere on the compass. Mr. Main Event, Mr. Top of the Card, the Showstopper, the Heartbreak Kid, Top of the Bill Phil, Tannen Smith. What's up, man?
Hey, not too much. Thanks for the intro there. Also curious, wow, X, huh? So, is Elon Musk, like, are we sponsored by him now, or do you have to pay into that bullshit?
This week, we're actually sponsored by Crumpy's Donuts. Get out there, guys. Check out Crumpy's Donuts. They're local here for us, but if you could make the trip, they're definitely worth it. Thank you, Crumpy's, for the shout-out this week. And last week is our dear friends at Eastern Shore Winery. Far Eastern Shore Winery, excuse me. I don't want to fuck up the sponsors' names. That's the worst thing I could do. But the reason Tannen got the over-the-top intro is because you got some big news this week.
I do. We, as far as the play's getting underway, we're making progress. I'm really kind of boot camping myself here the last couple of weeks, but even this week alone, like I'm getting all these lines drilled into my head, but discovered I'm top of the bill as far as the listing of the cast goes. It's the first time I've ever been top of the bill. And it's funny there too, because they list me as Tannen Paul, which I'm very happy about, because I kind of want to keep that. Like, I'd rather have that than my actual last name.
You don't want the creepers getting to you. You don't want them to...
Well, no. I mean, you could get Tannen Paul. You can find me on Facebook that way. But, so yeah, creep me all you want. But I don't know. It just clicks better, And I think my dad will be happy with that.
So, like...
That's his name. So that's how I got that middle name. So I think he'll be happy when he, sees the program. And, well, he probably already saw it on the website anyway, because I know he bought tickets.
A lot of actors in Hollywood, ironically, do that a lot, too. When they do their name change, it's usually a significant, like it's a family member or something like that. It's sentimental. Yeah,
well, I'm still going to keep, no matter what I do, especially if I stick with this. I'm going to, always use my first name. I don't know very many other Tannens. I'm Facebook friends with a Tannen Smith on Facebook. And it's funny, like, personality-wise, he and I are a lot different, but, I still chat with him every now and again and shit. Like, he's an all-right dude. But he's like, yeah, there was just one night I just decided to Facebook search that, and he came up. So I friend requested him and messaged him, and I was like, holy fuck, dude.
This was like years ago. I got really fucking pissed drunk one night, and I decided to look up my name on Facebook. And I found a Travis blah 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 in like Montana, and he's like my complete like he's tan, blonde, athletic looking. So, and I was really drunk, and it's actually still in my messenger to this day. Like it's like almost 4 years ago, but I just put "Hey man!" exclamation point, and it's just sat there, and he's seen it. I'll just wonder what
he never responded.
He never responded. I don't blame him.
see, this other dude, me and him are friends now, and we've been friends for a couple of years now. And we still like we comment on each other's shit and stuff like that. So like, yeah, like I said, I think he's younger than me. I still believe he's in his early 20s, maybe his early 30s,
I feel
or
like
late 20s, early 30s. But like, it's still like because he messaged me back. He's like, "Is that really your name?" And I'm like, "Fuck yeah, it is, dude."
Tana, if I may,
Hmm.
you should consider going by like Toby Bojangles. It's got a kick to it. Like it gets your attention.
You know what? Maybe if I was like a really silly slapstick stand-up comedian, I would do Toby Bojangles.
Like a shit one, like the amazing
That
Greg.
almost sounds like something like when you're interviewing like an old man. I remember Toby Bojangles. Oh, on stage, he'd
He
break down the house.
he started with nothing except an old plow, and then him and his partner Dorothy started the chain Bojangles, and they became ultra famous.
I was even thinking like Toby Bojangles had an act
Well, can I
with
then,
with an umbrella and a cat,
if it's gonna
and
linger,
it would bring the house down.
if it's gonna linger, can I use the name Toby Bojangles then?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, from here on, I want his reset button with Toby Bojangles.
See what I mean? It just makes it's one of those names. It's a feel good name. Speaking of feel good things, we're actually recording this officially on Halloween, even though this is coming out in November. So technically, we got our Halloween themed episode of the books, but I did want to get a chance to talk to you. Did you get a chance to watch any good horror movies this year that you don't normally watch any other Halloween year? Like outside the box ones?
Outside the box ones. Yeah, it's funny though. Tonight actually we were watching one of my like personal traditional ones that I've watched since I was a kid.
Well,
It's
that's
called
the complete opposite of what I just asked.
I know, but a lot of it's an off the wall one that a lot of people don't fucking know about though, is what I'm saying. It's called Lady in White.
Oh, I know that one.
Yeah, it came out in like 1988. I mean, it was huge when we were kids, but you talk to anybody else and like and Lindsay didn't even know it existed, and I was like, "Oh, we're gonna watch this," but we got halfway through it. She was like, "I have to go to bed," so I was like, "Okay."
That is a random ass choice for a movie.
Yeah, yeah. Let's see what else I watched. The other night while I had the place to myself, I watched the movie Funny Games, which I wouldn't necessarily call a Halloween horror movie. It's a fucked up psychological horror movie, though I would say. But watch the German version, not the American version, because the German version, of course, is more fucked up than the American version. And I feel it's more fucked up in a way because it's German actors, but off the top of my head, I can't name German actors, so it's like all these people I've never seen before.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, that movie fucked with me really bad. I would check it out. It's just like, yeah, how it's always good to be a kind neighbor, but at what cost?
I got
Um,
I got myself a Halloween fun fact this year. I made my wife, she has never seen ever Return of the Living Dead from 1985, which is
really?
that is my tippy top tier fucking Halloween movie. It's like I have the DVD and the Blu-ray, and I want to get the Tarman zombie tattoo at some point. But so
Oh, nice.
she liked it. I don't think she loved it, but she appreciated it. Of course,
Gotcha.
I obviously love it, but it hit me. It
Well,
fucking how did I? You know what I'm gonna? I think I posted it on Facebook. I never put together that the old guy in the very beginning of the movie, Frank, who's training the redhead kid at the medical supply place, his first day of the job training, and he's the one that accidentally leaks the gas and starts the whole ordeal. That is the same actor from like Golden Girls season 3, where Dorothy has a boyfriend. It's going fucking great, but Sophia tags along on all their dates. I don't know if you remember this episode. And she becomes a third wheel nuisance, and he ends up dumping Dorothy because of it. And then by the end of the episode, Sophia's got her own friends. Dorothy felt bad and said, "No, I don't want to go to the Bahamas with you, Frank. I'm going to stay with Ma. I feel bad." But then Ma went on her own trip. Came full circle. But that's the same guy. That blows my mind.
I thought you were about to say it was the dude that Sophia fucked to death. All right, Rose fucked to death. Never mind.
No. But yeah, I've learned something.
Classic episode.
Learn something new every Halloween season.
Uh,
For some reason we watch Bram Stoker's Dracula, which is see what when I watch horror.
you play the shitty game, you had to watch the movie.
When I watch horror with my wife, I try to make them very mid. Or like
Yeah,
Return of the Living Dead was pushing it, but it's not that bad. It's really it's a little
yeah,
gory, but it's more funny than anything.
yeah. No, no. My girlfriend is the same fucking way,
So
and like
it doesn't get more mid than fucking Bram Stoker's Dracula. So
yeah. Well, like okay, yeah. So new horror movies that we watch, I wouldn't even call it a horror movie. I call it more of a spooky movie. We did start watching Winchester
okay,
the other night. Interesting movie. I mean, if you know anything about do you ever hear about the Winchester house?
tidbits.
Like, okay, so the wife of the dude that created the Winchester rifle, he passes away, and she's so paranoid about these ghosts coming for her because the ghosts of all these people that have died at the hands of this gun that he manufactured. That she builds a house that it still stands today. You can go and visit it. I kind of really want to go, but like there's like doors that lead nowhere, staircases that lead to just the ceiling, and she built it this way to quote unquote confuse the ghosts. And it's basically about this dude that she has come into the house to basically like prove her point or something. I don't know. It's got the guy who played John Connor in Terminator Genesis.
Okay.
Um,
What's these ghosts fucking deal? It's not her fault. She was just the wife.
yeah, but she's still.
Unless he would
I
like
mean,
kill him and brag about it, and she'd be like,
I
"Oh,
guess
that's great."
she still feels tied to it. Think about it. She still has all of that money. Like she's
Right.
like an aristocratic woman. So
Is she
yeah.
like? Is her character like an awful woman too? On top of like she.
No, no, no. Even in like if you ever look into biographies and stuff about her, like no, she wasn't an awful woman. She was a fucking sad and paranoid woman. Like so, quite the opposite. Like wasn't nasty. She was just more like, oh my god, like my husband pretty much killed people by inventing this thing, like because yeah, I mean, Winchester repeaters and shit, like
Yeah.
you'd never seen anything like that before. Fuck, they had muskets. So like,
Speak.
takes it 5 minutes to fucking load and fire off one shot, and it probably won't kill you.
What a beautiful goddamn unintentional segue. How's Red Dead going? You still playing on Switch? Speaking of Winchester repeaters.
Actually, I haven't touched it all week because of the fucking script, and the show. Like I really haven't touched video game. The only game that I really played this week outside of that shitty fucking game that I recommended, which was I don't know. I'm still argue it's not too shitty, but it's just we'll get to that later. But the little bit that I played of that, and then Smash Brothers,
Yeah.
really didn't do too much gaming. I did today because, like I said, I wanted to actually take today and take a real break for a day to make that muscle in my brain kind of relax. I put in I started playing Batman Arkham Knight again, and really I played that because that takes place on Halloween. So
Playing that on PS4?
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So I went ahead and booted that back up. What made me boot that back up was they announced I guess they're coming out with a skin pack that's from the Batman. Yeah,
Mm.
all these years later, Rocksteady's like, hey, we're just gonna randomly throw this shit in here.
All those
So
the newest Batman movie, all the figures in the line, I keep seeing them out because I'm toy hunting a lot lately. They are dropped drastically. Like they fucking
yeah, well,
bombed.
they didn't sell.
No, they
Well,
bombed.
think about it though. Like, was the new Batman movie rated R? I can't remember.
Fuck. Was it?
I know it was pretty high up there. I mean, it was pretty fucking dark. It's not really something you take your kids
Fact
to go
check.
fucking see. You know what I mean? But if they've dropped, actually, I need to go check out those Lego sets.
Yeah.
Um, because if the figures have dropped, I guarantee you the Lego sets probably dropped in places if they even exist on the shelves. I mean, you get those people that buy them in bulk and then try to sell them on eBay, but good luck with that one because yeah, I know those sets didn't sell.
PG
Um,
13.
Oh, it was PG-13.
And
I
that
know it was pushed in our rating from when I had read about it, but I guess they took certain liberties and shit out to make it
I've
PG-13.
never yet to see it actually, and it's apparently 3 hours long.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, it's long as shit. It's pretty good though. I don't know. A lot of people dog on it, but I liked it. I mean,
It's got an 85 on Rotten Tomatoes. That's not too bad.
yeah. I mean, comic book wise, I mean, it's more of a detective movie. So it's just more of a straight up just Batman movie. Like we're not going to go through his origin story and all this shit. We already know it.
Yeah.
The disappointment that I had was fucking, Riddler. They instead, yeah, they call him Riddler, but he's Hush. He's fucking Hush. And that was one thing. That was my biggest complaint with it. Like, why call him the Riddler? Like, why didn't you just make it more of Enigma instead? Yeah, like whenever he's like unveiled, like when Batman finally catches him, I'm going to say it. He's played by the nerdy kid, one of the nerdy kids from Kick-Ass, one of his friends, like the little chubby kid with the glasses.
Yeah.
That's who he is. And it's just like this makes no fucking sense. Like, why don't you just make it more Riddler-ish? But instead, once you see it, you'll understand what I mean. Like, wait, that is Hush, but it's the Riddler. And that was the only part where I was like, ugh, But and then you have to go back too and watch. There was a deleted scene that they just published on YouTube that when the movie released, and it's Batman going in to talk to the Joker in Arkham. But that's on YouTube. It's not in the movie, so you have to watch that scene to get the full fucking movie. I get it for marketing purposes, but come the fuck on, throw the scene back in when it comes to street.
It's just a sad state of modern stuff.
Don't make me have to fucking go out of my goddamn way to get the complete goddamn movie.
Besides Castlevania Chronicles on PS1 and Dracula on Genesis, which we're on here on the channel, leisurely try to get some Halloween centric. So I just played the Castlevania collection. Really took the most time I ever have to play Kid Dracula, and it's fucking hard. Like, it's deceptive because the first stage is all right. It's like, all right. And by the way, it's good, guys. Don't think because it's hard it's bad. I enjoy it, and I still don't know why the fuck we never got it over here in 1990.
I still just don't see why that got thrown on the collection and not a different game. I'm sorry. I said it.
Because it's in the canon. It really is. Which is the story of Kid Dracula is fucking amazing. It's hilarious. I think it's great. I would rather have that in there than Castlevania The Adventure, for Christ's sakes. The first Game Boy one, where it feels like you're underwater. But it's fine. It's just it's kind of has spots where it's like walk away hard. I want to walk away from it. But nothing too out of the ordinary for me. Just fitting some F-Zero 99 and still love it. I want to talk about, because you brought this up earlier before we went on air, it actually drops tonight. It debuts at 9 p.m. Silent Hill Ascension.
Could you state your name?
Astrid Johansen.
Okay. First question. Did you kill your son?
I did everything correctly. Exactly as I was taught. Every word, every cut. But what I saw, it was something new, something we don't understand.
Even Radcliffe himself was frightened by the things he saw. But while others saw a monster, he saw salvation.
And I think it's safe to say, most in this town would celebrate one less Johansen. You've seen them, haven't you, Rachel? Visions. Harbingers.
I didn't kill my son. You don't have
have that in you. But what if I do?
Ascension, the free to play, pick your scene style. Not a pick your scene, because we're gonna explain, if you guys don't know how this releases, but in the end of 1 week cycle, it's complicated. It's something they've never tried before. I think we're both in agreement it's going to fall on its ass, but it's free. It's interesting. Why not check it out? Tana's definitely going to check it out. I'm probably not.
Just me being a Silent Hill fan. I mean, and it was free to play, so what do I have to lose? But yeah, I do find it interesting that it's everybody you're watching this episode with other people and you're voting.
No,
for these outcomes.
It is on consoles too, but that's where it gets a little tricky. It is for console players, but they have to wait the week, right? As opposed to if you're playing on like your phone, you get like a scene a day.
I don't know how that's working. I got mine from Google Play, and I just intend on screen sharing it to the TV, playing it, and it being whatever. I mean, I'm going to be here at 9 p.m. tomorrow, so I'll be playing it. But yeah, I'm going to be doing it through my phone. And I should play more games on my phone, to be honest with you. It can handle it. I spend a fucking month on it. Shit, I spent enough on it in the first place. The thing's basically a little handheld console anymore. So, like I thought about that, like getting a controller or trying to get like one of my PS4 controllers to work with it.
It's nothing with throwing on some Gems of War sometimes or something like that when you're bored.
Yeah. Well, no, there's actually some pretty kick-ass games I've looked at on mobile, and there's some too that are like straight like Silent Hill clones and shit that I want to look at. Like, so
free if you're piss poor, like dirt poor, and I'm not making fun of that, but I'm just saying if you don't really have the funds and you're into RPGs, mobile gaming is your paradise. There's some pretty decent free RPGs for mobile games.
Yeah. I mean, it's also like there was, they still had like the pixel remasters of Final Fantasy on there first before they put it on Switch and shit. Which I have the pixel remaster of 6, and that's really fucking good, man. Like I was blown away by how fucking great it is, but I got stuck because Mr. Bad Decision over here makes bad decisions. It doesn't do multiple save files. So I gotta start from the beginning. I'm just not happy with where I am. I got so fucking far. But I put myself between a rock and a hard place.
So I wanted to give the listeners some actual facts and not us kind of just like guesstimating how it's going. So this is a quote from Polygon.com, guys, on Silent Hill Ascension. While viewers will still be able to steer the story of Silent Hill Ascension through real-time decisions made through the series website and through apps on Apple's App Store and Google Play, there will be other ways to watch the series. Producers GenVid Entertainment announced Tuesday that Ascension will also stream as, quote, packaged episodes every week through the Sony Pictures Core app, which is available on PS4, PS5, Sony's Bravia TV televisions, and select Xperia smartphones. The package episodes will be constructed from a week's worth of audience-influenced scenes that Ascension viewers have voted on in real time. So the package episodes are the ones that you have to wait for in bulk, I'm assuming, if you're on console. And so the community's actually worried. So by the time they have to wait a whole week, that a bunch of trolls are just going to go in and purposely kill everybody in the bad decisions. Now, the devs are saying they're doing everything they can to make sure that won't happen, but it's going to happen at some point.
Yeah. Which is unfortunate. Like, this is where I'm like, man, it would be really interesting if it wasn't just a bunch of people purposefully trying to kill everybody.
Yeah.
And just taking it seriously as to making a choice, But God knows, too, we might end up, it might be like, she sits down at the diner. Do you want a salad or a burger? It doesn't even matter the fucking plot. Like, so she ate a salad. That's great.
Oh, the salad had uncooked chicken in it. She's dead. You've killed her from her salad.
She's got Ebola.
Yep, all of the above.
But I think that it's going to be at least it's different. And I watched the trailer. The graphics are kind of shitty. The voice acting really, my first impression is it's not the greatest, but it's an interesting project, and it might introduce something more down the line. And I actually do like those decision making games. I do like playing them. hell, not too long ago, um, Linz and I sat down and we played the Quarry together. And for somebody that really hates gore, though, I got her into it. Of course, I'm like, you need to make a decision. You got to do it quick. Uh, so I had to hold off then until we played Until Dawn because I tried to play theirs back to back with her. She's like, my brain doesn't work like
I'm reading here like more because I didn't know a lot, but like the story of Ascension sounds. I don't know. It sounds okay. So there's a quote Rust Belt town in Pennsylvania called Hope's Junction, rebuilding itself after a fatal steel mill accident decimated its economy, and there's also an intertwined story of a dying fishing village in Norway named Stilledalen and the Johansen family who finds their lives, quote, upended with their matriarch Ingrid dies under suspicious circumstances. So we'll see. They're going to have a hell of a rope and a knot to tie there to bring that all together. But
yeah.
I mean,
Or
like
PA,
Tannen said,
meanwhile, in another like story, like whole other universe in Norway.
At least, like Tannen said, it's free. You got nothing to lose. If you do want, you have to go to the actual website, guys, ascension.com, if you want to check out the days. To sync with the app and shit. Apparently, it'll. I guess we'll see today. So
Yeah. Apparently, the pre-show starts at 7 p.m. Eastern time. So
let's talk about one of our good longtime buddies. He was at my wedding, for Christ's sake, and he made a comment on our last week's episode regarding Super Mario Wonder. A lot of people have played it by now. Even our friend Emily, who's not even a huge gamer, she posted a video on Instagram of her and her daughter and her boyfriend all enjoying Wonder. I feel like everyone's getting to play this fucking thing but you and me. I have two sides of the camp with my friends. Half hate it, some despise it. Quite frankly, our buddy Crooked did, and half fucking adore this. I've even had some close friends who I totally trust their gaming instincts on said this is the best one since Super Mario World, and I'm like, what? It's the first Mario game where it's the first one where Miyamoto hasn't been down their fucking necks in making the game. They've had total more free reign than ever with a Mario game. I just need to play it, I guess, at this point. It's just one of those cases. I can't listen to people's reviews anymore. I've just got to do it.
If I'm not mistaken, I thought really the person that had a lot of say in this was the same dude that did Land on the Game Boy. I thought he had ties to it, but I might be wrong about that.
What say you? Are you gonna drop 60 on
it? No, I'm holding out for Super Mario RPG.
It's fair.
Come on, yeah, I can only spend $60 so many times on a game. And like I said too, my birthday's coming up. Like I know, that's gonna be like, I think more of a asking for that one. So I don't know. I keep getting asked too, like what games I might want for Christmas and stuff, and I'm like, I don't know. If I get Super Mario RPG, I might just be like, oh no, I'm good. I have so many other games I gotta get through.
Yeah, I got a wedding anniversary trip coming up, so fuck you, Wonder, I guess. But Wonder, to answer your question, Tannen, was produced by Takashi Tezuka and directed by Shira Mori. If I'm butchering the names, I'm sorry. Who previously served as a programming director for New Super Mario Bros. U and director for New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe.
Okay.
So,
nothing about Land in there.
Nah, I don't see it. If you guys are enjoying it though, and you think it's the best since Super Mario World, well, fuck yeah, I'm really happy for you. And if that's the case, you're selling me one way. But like our buddy Crooked in the comments, I'm being told complete opposite things. So I don't know.
Yeah, well, it's like I said though too. Like I saw that one scene where I don't know, they're walking through the level and all the piranha plants are singing and shit. And I was like, wow, this looks like fun, but at the same time, I didn't see where it looked like it was really challenging. And that's what I think a lot of people are bitching about. But then I read you can up the difficulty and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So if you can up the difficulty, like, okay, how hard is it to play it on the hardest difficulty? That's what I'm curious about. Does it get really challenging at that point? These are the answers to my questions that I need. But I mean, in the meantime, it is something I am going to wait on. I mean, you know me. Like, if there's a game I don't really want, but I do want, I always go to my trusty old pawn shop, and that's where I'll buy it from.
Yeah, I mean, I
Um,
got smashed for a good deal at a pawn shop, so.
yeah, shit. I got smashed for a good deal for one of the kids that I work. He had to pay me back for it, but I got it for him for 25 plus tax,
So
which is
here,
a hell of a deal.
yeah. Here's I've seen more Alan 2 trailers, by the way. It's looking awesome.
Oh my God. Okay, like again, everybody's asking me what I want for Christmas. And I almost just want to be like, how about y'all throw down and get me,
Do you say it all silky smooth like Pootie Tang, like you just did?
yeah, I'm like, how about y'all throw down? Give me the but yeah, I know, like, it makes me really want to get, and I'm leaning towards Xbox One X. Um, I'm sure there's like half a crowd be like, no, the PlayStation. But I really like feel like the Xbox One X is going to end up outlasting the PS5.
I
Like
think
I think it is. It's my feeling on it.
just because I'm such a frugal fuck, I think I'm going PS5 just because of how much I invested in 4, and I don't want all that to just go away. I'd like to see some of those games enhanced on my 5.
But there's still so many PS4 games I need to fucking play. That's the thing. I got so much in my back library. Oh, here's an interesting thought. Like I haven't stayed at my girlfriend's. A lot of basically like pretty much live here anymore. And I grabbed all these games, and I got more games like stored away. And I have all these games I haven't even touched, never played, or never beat at least. Resident Evil Revelations 2, never completed it. Started it, never completed it. What else is there? Yes, Assassin's Creed Origins, started it, never completed it.
Yeah.
I mean, all these games too that I could put like absolute hours into, but for some odd reason, I keep going back to these other ones that I really enjoy. Red Dead, and yeah, I haven't even completed Callisto Protocol. Part of that is the fucking load times on PS4, though.
I feel like at this point in our lives, our gaming tastes that evening or whenever we get off work are adjacent to the kind of day we had.
Most definitely. And maybe sometimes we just want to go back to like what we know we like because we've had a shitty day.
Maybe roaming around the old west and skinning animals and selling their hide. That does it for you. It's a very
Sleeping in the outdoors, or also like
It's only one
know.
of the greatest games ever made. I can't imagine why I keep going back to it.
Yeah, right. But yeah, Tears of the Kingdom, need to complete that. Still haven't completed that. So I mean, there is a lot on my back library, but then like, what are you going to spend $60 on, or whatever? I'm like, oh, I'm going to get a remake of a game that I beat 20 plus years ago.
Yeah.
But it looks pretty now. There's cutscenes. I want it.
If it ever comes to the point where we need to buy Gargoyles Remastered, we really need to intervention each other. Be like, look, complete your backlog. For fuck's sake.
But see, I know I'll play through Super Mario RPG. Like, I know I will complete.
Well, it's also a good game, but I'm saying if it comes to Gargoyles, Jesus Christ. Here's a random ass news topic, but it's really cool to me actually. I think you'll dig it too. The largest Lego set ever is on sale for a huge discount right now on Amazon. The 11,695 piece.
Millennium Falcon.
No, not even close. It's actually really fucking boring. What it is.
What is it?
It's literally just a picture of the world map, like in school.
What?
Yeah.
No wonder it's on a huge fucking discount.
Well,
How much are they wanting for it?
Now you can get $250, and you can save $100 off this impressive work of art on Amazon by clicking the coupon box below, which you can't see because I'm reading. So I'll stop there. Yeah, I mean, I would have thought a Star Wars machine also at first.
Oh, I knew that Millennium Falcon set was fucking huge.
I would think like a Death Star or like the ultimate
You would
Death
think
Star.
you would think well, they haven't come out with that yet. There's been custom builds, but
Yeah.
no, the Millennium Falcon, the big ass one, like the huge motherfucker, man.
Yeah.
Like, and I mean that thing is fucking big. Like, you better have some space for it. My dream is to one day have a room, and I'm gonna have a Lego city I did just complete one of the minifigure collections. I've got one that I only need 2 more left, and it sucks because it's the yellow pack, which they discontinued.
Yeah.
And then I started the blue pack, but the only place that I can find those is Lynn's sister finds them, and they're like 2 hours away north. So somehow they're going into like Bright Aids and shit though, and they're finding them in there because they've just sat there.
Huh. But yeah, 11,195 pieces. It literally, this picture I'm looking at, I'll send you a picture later. It looks like 10,000 of the pieces are fucking blue because of the ocean. This looks like the most boring goddamn Lego set to build ever. Jesus.
Yeah, hard pack. Is that a globe?
It's
like
not
a
it's
fucking
no,
map.
it's like it looks like a poster. A flat map poster.
Sad.
It's a flat earther poster.
Wow.
I want to shout out one more time. I know it was 2 weeks ago now, but when our buddy TJ was in town, I've been collecting the new Hot Wheels Mario Kart cars out. I did a hell of a job. I have them all except Baby Mario and Baby Luigi now, and I think Daisy. There's the only 3 I need. But our buddy TJ Kite Man bought me the goddamn Mario Kart track, which includes Mario, and that's why you can never find fucking Mario, because that's the only way Mario's sold. So I know you're listening to this, brother, and I know I thanked you up and down. I pretty much kissed you on the cheek. Thank you so much. It looks great on my nerdy shelf, and it's staying in the box because that's a goddamn investment right there. It's something Mario. So.
Oh yeah. Also, shout out to TJ for hanging my poster out. I
Hell
appreciate that as well.
Hell yeah. How dare I? Also, brand new YouTube channels. Horrors of Hibiki is back on our own YouTube channel. Horrors of not horrors, horrors. Me and TJ, our horror, checking out See No Evil from 06. And as of last night, the new episode just dropped. The ultimate debate, the Dirty Dominic Mysterio debate. One side, Mike the Slam Pig. The other, TJ Kite Man as our special guest. Slam Pigs Podcast is back on our own YouTube channel. Slam Pigs Podcast. Pro wrestling, horror movies, video games. Can't go wrong with any of that in my book.
You can't. Hey, well, while we're still, this is like kind of off topic, but on topic. But since we're talking about Halloween, did you notice something this year? Fuck, Halloween candy got expensive.
Yeah, it did.
Like, I thought about volunteering and doing a trunk or treat. Then I went to the fucking store. I'm not going to drop $50 to give out candy.
So tomorrow night is actually trick-or-treat in our neighborhood, and I'm doing it. I'm setting up for the kids. We already went and bought candy, and so I figured...
That's sweet of you. How much did you have to drop?
That's what I was getting to. But I figured, we're new in the neighborhood. You can't just not. You're going to look like fucking assholes being the new people.
Yeah, and also you're the young couple. So while you're out mowing the lawn, there's kids on their bike and be like, that son of a bitch.
Plus, I want to wear my Jason mask, and it gives me an excuse.
Yeah, shit. I you know what? I want to come over and hand out candy.
Do you have rehearsal tomorrow?
I do not.
Come over. It starts at 6.
Yeah, that might be fun.
Do it. Wear a mask.
Yeah, I'm gonna wear my steampunk outfit.
Do it. Yeah, we'll do a live episode. And oh my God, let's just do a trick or treat episode.
Yeah,
I don't even care if it's like Bush League. I'll just set my phone recorder on the table where the candy is. Oh my God, we should. All right. Anyway, yeah, we spent a lot. I took the long road, but yeah. And you know what? Next week the shit's gonna be like $5 for a giant bag clearance.
Always.
Thank you for bringing up candy.
But listen, no problem. But yeah, listen though. So I looked into it because I was like, fuck, man, why? And I looked into it. So here's what they're claiming. And I mean, it sort of makes sense. But okay, so the cocoa where we get our chocolate from now, I guess the biggest export of that is somewhere in Africa now, and they had a drought, so there's a shortage of that, which drove up costs. This is according to Mars and Hershey. And then also, though, as far as like because I was like, well, what about the sour gummy candies? That's not fucking chocolate. India, which I found out is one of our biggest exports of cane sugar, had no fucking clue. That's where we get our cane sugar from. They shut down their export due to both flooding in one region and then also a drought in the other. And it killed off their crops. and they're like, we're not exporting sugar, we're keeping our sugar. And fuck you.
You know why? You know why all these droughts are going on? It's because slowly Mariah Carey is absorbing and defrosting
Yeah.
in preparation for December and taking out all the resources.
Yoo-hoo.
She needs to suck up. She's running out of fans because people are seeing through the bullshit and they dread it every Christmas. So now she's got to steal from other holidays, that power source, slowly.
I mean, she's completely absorbed Thanksgiving. I feel like for a few years there, like when we were teenagers, there was like a Halloween drought. I feel like there for a while.
I remember.
We were
that, yeah.
we were upheaving it, but like like those who ran shit were like no, and like we basically would there was just so little Halloween shit. It didn't blow up. I feel like until like we became adults and in our 20s.
That's
But
that's because her entire she's a little bit older than us, but her entire childhood, my God, was spent absorbing and taking in the energy. And then when she was in her final form, like Cell from Dragon Ball, she didn't need it anymore. And then full Halloween is now in full effect. We just got fucked because of timing.
Well, no, but she's absorbed Thanksgiving. That's gone.
She sits in the hyperbolic time chamber the day after Christmas for a whole year with Nick Cannon.
Yeah. Like Black Friday is probably her favorite holiday then because then they're really, but they're already blaring. She's going to be thawed November 1st.
Fucking bitch.
You're going to walk into a goddamn store and you're going to hear All I Want for Christmas.
You're going to hear it Wednesday.
Is you.
You're literally going to hear it Wednesday, the 1st of November. I guarantee you. I'm calling it.
Yeah.
You go to buy a pack of cigarettes or gum. There she is.
No, yeah. I'm going to look it up because I swear last year, who was it? WAYZ? That's our local radio station for those listening.
Ways.
They go from country music or whatever to Christmas music. Like, fucking bam.
Oh, yeah.
Probably midnight. So, like, let me see. Oh, look at that. Oh, I just saw Christmas on there listed. But that's a Greencastle Christmas Parade. What the fuck? Get this, Travis. Greencastle Christmas Parade. Can you guess the date of the Greencastle Christmas Parade?
Friday.
November 18th.
So next Friday. Basically.
Why the fuck do we have a Christmas parade smack dab in the middle of goddamn November? What the fuck are they thinking?
So,
that's just terrible.
I really want to go off on Christmas. God, we got some episodes ahead of us, so I'm going to save that. But you know what I want to go off about? I'm sick of it. This is what I'm sick about, not just prices. This is something that's costing people nothing, but it's costing me my fucking patience. Because candy corn is good, and I don't get it. I have never eaten any piece of candy corn, whether it's Brock's, Hershey's, any fucking company that makes candy corn where it's not been sugary and a nice little treat on a shitty day and just good. And it almost melts in your mouth. It doesn't quite stick to your teeth, but it does. It's not like a fucking Milk Dud. Get Milk Duds out of here. I love Whoppers. But God, you guys are so... What is it? Do you like candy corn, Tannen?
What do you hate about Milk Duds?
They don't just get stuck to your teeth. They become your bottom right molar for like the next month.
Yeah, you're eating them wrong. You gotta suck on them for a while.
I don't like to
get the
suck.
saliva going.
I don't like to suck.
Yeah, fucking Milk Duds are great. Anyway, though,
I like my shit quick, Tannen. Not when it comes to my candy. I'm like a fiend. I need it now, baby. Give me a 30 Rock.
So your candy corn though, your okay. Look,
it tastes
corn,
like fucking chocolate to me. It just tastes like chocolate.
It does not taste like chocolate. It does not taste like chocolate at all.
It's like a hint of chocolate and vanilla. It's like putting your mouth under the ice cream swirls at Ryan's Buffet and you mix it in your mouth. That's candy corn.
At one point in time, actually, they probably still make it. The other flavors of candy, like the caramel candy corn and shit. Man, that's just good.
It is. I actually thank you for bringing that up. That's appreciation.
But regular candy corn, though, and I'm not shitting on it, man. It's whatever. It's what's for you. But I mean, it's like chewing on a bunch of different wax candles. It's fun to take candy corn and put them on your canines and blah. Now I'm a vampire. But that's all I have fun with the candy corn. There, it's I mean, to each their own, but yeah, no, you're talking about candy corn. I'm fucking over here backing up Milk Duds. I still can't believe you just said throw those out.
I've
That's
never
fine.
been a guy with my candies where like I'm like I have to suck on it for a while or like
I'm not even saying that. You just let it stay in your mouth. Let that
I
chocolate
don't
melt and
like
that
that.
caramel melt.
I don't like that because I get nervous. I'll choke. I'm weird. I don't like it.
Just don't fucking swallow it. Just let it chill.
What
Like,
if
I don't know.
what if I'm on my
Park it,
porch?
park it like it's some dip or something. Man.
What if I'm on my porch having a sweet treat, a milk dud? I'm taking I'm like, all right, maybe Tannen's right. I'm smoking a cigarette or whatever I'm doing, and you're like, I'm gonna go surprise Travis, come over unexpected, and I don't hear you pull in or something. Let's say I have earbuds in, and you come up and you pat me on the back, and I fucking choke to death on a milk dud. That could happen. Or my wife gets off work early. I have the earbuds in. She wants to surprise me with a kiss, and she scares me. Choke on a milk dud.
I mean, it's that or else, like you accidentally like spit the milk dud into her mouth. Like.
Look,
But
the other holidays,
I just.
the other holidays where people have, I'm on board with fruitcake sucks. I'm on board with I think fucking yams are disgusting. I hate.
I don't like yams either.
So I'm on board with all that. I just don't get the candy corn hatred. That's it. That's all I got.
And just it only seems to pop up once a year.
I feel like it's a texture thing with people. I feel like if it was melted down in an ice cream flavor, they would fucking love it.
I don't know about that.
Well, your immediate thing was it's like wax. Well, that's a texture issue.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like flavorless though. I don't know. It's flavorless to me. I don't know. It's candy corn. It's funny. We're watching Lady in White. They show like a shot of this like woman working in like a candy store, and she's got like a scooping out candy corn.
Yeah.
And it's like penny candy.
Yeah.
Candy corn. I just it doesn't even look like corn. How does that look like corn to anybody?
Where do we stand on cotton candy? Old fashioned cotton candy.
I mean, I'm okay with it.
I like it. I think when I was a kid, I had this thing about my hands getting sticky, so I didn't like it that much as a kid. But now I like it. Candy apples, Tannen.
They're messy, but I like them. You know what I don't like, and it's funny because Linz loves these fucking things. There's these candy apple lollipops, and they're like caramel on the outside with like green apple on the inside.
Yeah.
But the caramel's so fucking thick. Like it just it takes so much patience to eat the fucking thing. and I don't have that kind of patience. I am definitely a 1, 2, 3, and you're at the center of a Tootsie Pop type of guy. And
unless it's a fucking milk dud, which lasts in your mouth for 3 years.
No. Milk duds do not last that. Fuck you, man. It's like I'm talking a minute of your time, if that.
I don't
maybe 30 seconds.
My time is precious.
And by the time, even if you're chewing on it, by the time all that saliva gets to your mouth because it's so fucking good, it's not sticking to your teeth anymore. You're absorbing that caramel fucking goodness.
But I feel like with the Whoppers, it's like it's a milk dud, and I can just get in and get out.
Whopper's not like milk dud at all.
It's better because it's like a milk dud on the outside, but the inside is like a vanilla treat, wafer.
Yeah, it's waferish. I will call that waferish.
Is wafer a racial term? Did I hear that somewhere? Call somebody a wafer or a waif?
I never heard it, but you know what?
Isn't
a motherfucking wafer?
Isn't a waif a class in like D&D or something? I'm a waif healer or some shit.
I feel like you're making that up, but you know what?
It sounds really right. It sounds like it.
The waif, or maybe it's a prejudice term in D&D. Fuck you, waif.
Fucking waif. That's waif is the new noob. We're taking it back.
It's like when you call like an elf that like is a shitty elf that's all loud and I don't know. It's an elf that smells bad or something. It's fucking waif.
You'll never be like Legolas, you fucking waif.
Fucking waif. Look at him. Look at him walking.
Look how he walks. Your ears aren't even fully developed.
No, they're floppy. They're pointed, but look at them. They're all fucking weird.
Tannen, one last thing before we get to our game of the week. I did play some Doom 64 on my Switch because you were talking about it last episode. I want to reiterate, so good on the Switch.
Dude, it is fucking good. Yeah.
It's just as hard as ever, but my God, that soundtrack is chef's kiss.
I get lost.
I get lost in every Doom game as it is.
Yeah, but like that one, I get really fucking lost.
I feel like
to the next level, and then I'm more lost than I was the last time.
Is it fair to say that 64 is the hardest Doom game? I'm not counting the mods like Final Doom and shit like that. We're talking 1, 2, 64, 3, and 2016, and Eternal. I still feel like 64 is the hardest because it's the most cryptic.
I feel like what you mean cryptic is in like trying to find hidden entrance ways to switches. That
Where's the yellow fucking key? My God, I've looked up every ass crack in the map. Where's the yellow fucking key? Yeah.
Well, and it sucks after a while because you get so frustrated and you ran out of shit to kill. Everybody's dead. You know, like, so it's like you're like Winnie the Pooh, you're going around and crossing the same fucking log in the woods. You know, like, you're still not finding the goddamn switch or the key or, like, you know, it's just, yeah. That's the only part of the game that I get so pissed off because it's just like they designed this to just piss me off at this point.
Tannen, you have Doom 1 on your Switch, right?
No, I don't.
Okay. You have 2, though?
No, I have 3 and I have 64.
I'm going to have to rethink my inks on Game of the Week pick for me this week. Because I was going to have us play one of the mods, Sigil, the legendary fucking Doom mod that they give you on Switch, but one day we'll do it.
We should play the Tim Allen Doom mod. I'm just kidding. Did you ever look that up?
No.
To our listeners, yeah, look it up on YouTube. Just type in Tim Allen Doom mod, and you'll see the terror that is Tim Allen and Doom.
So as another Halloween is in the books this year, I think I had a pretty chill Halloween. You had a pretty chill Halloween, Tannen?
Yeah, I had a chill Halloween. I didn't go out this year. I usually like buy a costume, go all the fuck out and stuff, but no. Saturday night. Well, I did go out for a little bit. I visited a buddy of ours, and where his property is, there was like a live band on the neighboring property, so you could hear the music clearly. I just went down there, sat by the fire for a couple hours and hung out. And then when the band stopped, I left and went home and went over my script and went to sleep. Got up in the morning and took a shower, went over my script again, and went into rehearsal. You know, like, and that was my Saturday night. You know, no dressing up or anything like that, but you know, I saw a lot of cool pictures. I saw stuff that other people did. You know, amen to them, man. It was cool to see them having a good time, being out and about. I'll probably be out and about next year. But this year, yeah, I feel like it was a nice little break from all the stuff. I've liked this quiet being in, and you know, like in my little breaks, watching a horror movie or two, you know, and just kind of been in the mood to be a little bit more reclusive lately. If that makes sense.
I hear you. I got the movies in this year. I usually want to get in and learn some things, turn some people on to things, and I'm still haunted by the ghost of TJ who lingers in my house.
Well, a cool thing too this year, you know, at work we have cable TV, and so the kids have been watching AMC's Monster Fest or whatever they call it now.
Nice.
So that's how I got in a lot of my stereotypical classics, and even ones I ever thought to like grab. Like we watched Carrie one night, or not Carrie, Christine. We watched Christine one night. You know, and I love that fucking book, and I like the movie, so I was like, oh man, you guys are gonna love this. Yeah. And you know, of course, the original Halloween movie came on one night, and then I guess because they didn't get all the rights to all the other ones, so they did Halloween 1, 2, and 3, right? And the second one or the third one blew their minds because they're like, "What the fuck are we watching?"
It's the best. It's the best one. I don't care what anyone says.
It has nothing to do with anything.
It's fucking so great. Shamrock shakes and shit. It's fucking
Yeah.
great.
Oh my god.
Tom
Yeah,
Atkins, sexy Tom Atkins. His
yes,
mustache.
Tom Atkins. Um, so yeah, that one blew their minds. But then we watched it like segued in because I guess they did do the two with the little girl, so 4 and 5. But then the following night was Halloween H2O, and they're like, "How's this happening?" And I was like, "So all the other Halloweens have been retconned now, and this takes off after two." And because it's Laurie Strode 20 years later with her son at the private school, and Josh Hartnett, and he's all like young and shit.
Ugh,
And
fucking
hey, that one
movie.
though, huh? No, you know what? I
Is
saw
that the
that
one?
one.
Is that the one with Buster, or is that Resurrection? With Buster
Is that the one
Rhymes?
that what?
Is that the one with
No,
Buster?
that's
All
Resurrection.
right, Resurrection is the dog shit one. H2O is okay, from what I remember. It's all
Yeah,
right.
H2O. No, H2O was okay. Whatever. I saw that in the theater with my mother and really enjoyed it. So like, and she liked it too. But I did finally like start watching. I want to watch the newer ones, even though everybody's like, "Bro, I don't watch them." But
Don't.
I did start watching the one with Laurie Strode as an old lady.
I
Um,
could not recommend anything to you less than the last two Halloween movies. They're really
but
bad.
I had to explain to the kids again what retconning was because we watched every Terminator movie
Yeah.
when we were allowed to have streaming services on the TVs until they took that
Oh, so
away.
you're full of retconning. Fucking.
Yeah, yeah. So like, yeah, well, yeah, because we watched the first three, and then we watched Salvation. Well, after that, it kind of makes sense. Whatever. Like, oh yeah, it picks up after that. Like, didn't have to explain retconning at that point. Excuse me. But then we got into yeah. After that, I guess it was Genesis, and so they're like, wait, what the hell's going on? I was like, well, it's been retconned. So everything. Now after the first movie, maybe the second movie, it's hard to tell, but it's been retconned. And then we watched the last one, and they were really super fucking confused because Linda Hamilton's popping back up. And I'm like, oh yeah, so 3 through Genesis have now been retconned. Like,
I wish we could retcon some of our first fucking episodes. To be honest, they're so
oh
bad.
come on, some of them are hilarious. It's still hilarious.
I wish we could retcon a lot of the games of the week too. Just like this is no different this week, Tannen. It was your turn. Let's get right into it, man. Your game of the week, and keeping in line with
Huh? No, it's not my turn. I picked Animaniacs last week.
That's what I'm saying. It was your turn.
Oh, we're talking
Yeah,
about it. We're
yeah,
not
yeah, yeah.
choosing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was my turn. Fuck yeah, it was my turn.
I was gonna do the singing frog thing, and you stole my thunder. Now I don't feel like doing it.
I'm so sorry. Hello, my baby.
Hello, my.
Yeah, it was my turn. Fucking right. It was like dub dub dub.
Fucking right. It was my turn. I am Christmas, motherfucker. Man, I was really hoping this was gonna be like the SNES one. I really was.
Yeah, yeah, of course, yeah. So Animaniacs. And yes, I grew up and loved the SNES one. The SNES one's great. The cutscenes are great. The music is crisp. The sprites, all three of them are there. If you stand idle, they start doing a goofy dance. The storyline makes sense. You have Brain.
The hot nurse, and they start like humping the ground. And
yeah, Hot Nurse shows up, and they're all like, oh, that Dot looks all disappointed while they're all like, ugh. But like, yeah, like,
should she be disappointed? Like, they're your brothers. Do you care? Do you want them to have sex with you? It's weird.
Yeah, I think she's just annoyed about boys in general.
Dot backwards is Todd, so who knows? Todd's weird.
But anyway, though, yeah, the Super Nintendo was great. Storyline made sense. Brain, is trying to like stop them from making this movie. It took this script and scattered it around. You got to get the pages for the script, and had multiple endings. What a great fucking game! But we didn't play the SNES one.
Yeah, that's not the one we were blessed with.
And last week you had said in the episode that there was a Game Gear version, and
yes.
bless your fucking lucky stars that there's not.
Thank you. I do want to make a disclaimer. I don't know, because it was an on-the-fly thing we were recording, guys. I don't know what the fuck I looked at wrong, but there is not. I mean, I would say unfortunately, but probably for the better, not a Game Gear version. So we settled on Genesis.
We settled on the Genesis version, which the Genesis version was ported to the Game Boy. I'll get more into that later. But anyway, though, the Game Gear, the Genesis version, which a lot of times with Genesis versions, depending on the game, the music can be hit or miss. And in this one, yes, NES took the cake on the music's still good. The theme song is still there, but it doesn't sound as good.
And
The
it's not
storyline,
like throughout the levels too, which you made a great fucking point, Argue, not to cut you off, but you said the SNES one made you feel like you're playing the cartoon. The SNES game for me when I played it as a kid, it was one of those games where like I have to keep doing good so I can keep hearing the theme song because it makes you feel like I'm in the cartoon. It's one of those deals for me.
yeah, and they're even animated more like the cartoon. And also, it's more of a brawler.
Mhm.
Um,
This was a
this
straight up
one,
puzzler platform.
platformer.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a puzzle platform. In the Genesis version, you have all three characters still on screen, all three sprites, which that's nice.
Mhm.
But
It was
you
great.
have to.
The sprite work, once again, with another game that's not that great we're reviewing, sprite work was great on the main characters. Fantastic.
It was. But sprite work was great. Music was a little off. Storyline, what the fuck is happening? So the storyline in this one is that they want to open up a hip hop shop. What the fuck? To meet more celebrities in West Hollywood,
Like John Snots
like John Snots,
and his
instead
bug
of
eyes.
Don. Yeah, and there's funny things he does with his eyes. Yeah, so we're gonna make a Don Knotts parody here because I guess Don was like, "I'm not signing that contract."
It was either
And
Tiny Toons, because I know Tiny Toons did a lot with like Golden Age celebrities. Did they draw Don Knotts on an episode of Animaniacs or Tiny Toons once?
they definitely did.
I
They
know I
definitely
remember.
did.
Because they would do
I
a
mean,
lot of the Lon Chaney. They would do a lot, I remember.
They would do Jerry Lewis a lot too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
God, they made fun of Jerry Lewis a lot on
They
that fucking
busted on
show.
Golden Hollywood so much. It was fantastic. I love
Yeah. And current though too. I mean,
Yeah,
shit,
yeah.
Good feathers, come the fuck on.
that. Yes.
Um,
Have you seen the new Tiny Toons? Not to go off topic. It's on
I
Max.
haven't.
Our-
I haven't.
Our longtime
But-
buddy, supporter, and listener, Lucas Hackett has. He said it's good. I have yet to check it out. I keep forgetting.
My
about
only
it.
argument here is since we're going off subject, I'm going to go deep. Bugs and Babs are brother and sister now. And I don't like that because the running joke in the last one is I'm Bugs Bunny, I'm Babs Bunny, no relation.
And
But now we're
are
going to
they-
make them siblings.
and like it was like an underlying theme too. Like Buster would think he had a shot sometimes. He would go in for a
Mhm.
kiss, and Babs would just push him away.
Or like he would just like ask her out on a date, she would like shoot him down. Like, yeah, like but instead now we're going to make them brother and sister. Makes no fucking sense. Like,
Yeah.
if it ain't broke, don't fix it. You tried to fix it now. I don't agree with it. But it's whatever. I do need to sit down and watch it. But that's what I got from the trailer. And I was like, why the fuck? Like, you're taking that whole joke away from this new generation watching that. That's dumb.
Well,
Anyway, back to Animaniacs. So yeah, meet celebrities like John Snots, and still Pinky and the Brain, or I should say the Brain, not so much Pinky, is again your villain, and he's trying to stop you from accomplishing this. And as far as the three go,
you
they're
can-
all three on screen, but you can switch between them, and they do different abilities
Yeah.
to like progress. So like I think Dot like she'll blow kisses to like move somebody, and Wacko's got a hammer.
and Yakko can like push and pull.
Yeah,
Awesome.
Yakko can move shit.
I will say the switching on the fly mechanic was pretty tight and fast. I didn't have a lot of issues with that. It's confusing because the sprites when they're standing still they always bunch up, but they always they put the one you're controlling in front, but after a while it starts fucking with your eyes, kind of like a weird Photoshop. I don't like that. I love the more isometric overhead of the SNES did way fucking more than this.
Oh my god! Well, and also there was more on screen always going on with the SNES,
Yeah.
and it always ran smoothly. I don't ever remember a part where like it would slow down or something.
There was slowdown on this, and there was some choppy fucking issues. Now, I wasn't playing on original hardware, but I feel like if I was, it's still going to be some choppiness.
It would still be happy. Yeah. The Super Nintendo was just smooth and well polished. You could tell where Konami was like, "This is our baby."
The Super
then,
Nintendo's rendition of the Animaniacs theme song is almost so good.
It sounds like the cartoon.
Well,
like it's
we're both like longtime musicians too, so we pay attention to shit like fills and timing. Like, they nail almost every little percussion fill, crescendo shit. They just fucking nailed that theme out of the park. And then on this, while it's not bad, it's like you're comparing fucking Winger to Mozart. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah. I mean, they might as well have made it 8-bit.
yeah.
And I know that the Genesis's, sound card was a lot different, but still.
Genesis always does the more metally Contra themes and shit like that. There's some exceptions, like a Rocket Knight, Sonic, some RPGs.
Yeah.
But SNES recreates themes and does fantasy out of this world better than anything.
Yeah. But yeah, at the same time, like Genesis, like I would prefer Earthward Jim's soundtrack on the Genesis in the way that sounded.
And the game.
The SNES.
And the game.
And the game, yeah. Now, also, though, I'm going to throw this in. I did, while we were chatting earlier, because I have a Game Boy emulator on my phone, I did take the time to play the Game Boy version of this already shitty fucking Genesis game. So the game that they did of all the stuff to port, obviously the Game Boy could not handle the awesomeness that was the Super Nintendo. So they ported the shitty Genesis version over to the Game Boy. Now, I will say, for a port, as far as the game itself goes, it's not, instead of 4 levels, it's 3, so I guess that's all they could fit on there. The music for being Game Boy, the theme and stuff, actually being Game Boy, remember, Game Boy, sounds good. But yeah, it's like a condensed version of the Genesis version. Not all 3 siblings can be on the screen at the same time. It's just one, but you can still hit select and it'll still cycle through the different characters.
Is that pretty fluent and on the fly?
Yeah, and it's functional, but it moves so sluggishly slow. Like you know, like where we thought, like, there's moments of glitchiness where like the game slows down on the Genesis version. This version is just genuinely slow.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks again, Game Boy. It looks good. If I was a kid and got it for my Game Boy, I don't think I would raise a fucking shit fit about it. I played worse Game Boy games. But interestingly enough, the developers for the Game Boy game, Factor 5, who brought us such gems as Rogue Squadron.
So weird.
But yeah, this must have been a real easy task for them. They probably were like, "Yeah, cool, we'll do it."
It's almost
give it to us.
It's almost as weird or random as Camelot doing like Golden Sun and the kick-ass RPGs and Mario Golf Tournament Tour. So weird.
Somebody's got to do it. But Mario Golf's a good game, so
I think this is one of the most fun IPs from our childhood, and I think that's why it's going to make me give this a 4, because the Sega did what the SNES one did too, in a way. The sprite work was so well done. At points, I felt like it was kind of like playing the cartoon, nowhere near on par. It was up there with. It was there. The puzzles. Sometimes I died once, but then I immediately the next time. All right, this is how you do it. It was.
And this game. Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say there are certain parts where I think the puzzles are kid friendly, but some of the platforming, especially when you have to ride the boat and that dickhead alligator and the fat cop on the rat, like that. Good luck, kids, because I had struggled with that shit. And then the second stage where you go to like Future World, that was hard out of the gate. So I only saw this game getting harder and harder. I don't think it's worth reaching all the way to the end. Whereas I think the SNES one is definitely worth your time and worth. It's not a perfect game, but I feel like if you're a fan of the show, you're gonna love it.
See, I'd give the SNES one a 4.5 out of 10. I think your 4 is really generous there. Wait, not out of 10, out of 5.
I'm going out of 10.
Out of 5.
Okay, we'll go.
You're going out of 10?
Yeah, we'll go to 5. Then like a 2.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think the grading scale here is easier. 4.5 out of 5 for the SNES version for me. But yeah, no, like I was gonna say, wow, your 3.5 is very generous. I'm definitely at a 2, and that's really pushing it. I mean, hell, like I'm gonna give the Game Boy version just a little bit of meat, because if it was Game Boy, like for Game Boy, it's a great game. Not bad, not great, but that one's gonna get a 3. Genesis, I would expect more. and that's just me being a dick. But you know.
Yeah. I think there was definitely potential here. Like, the level design wasn't awful. Like, I don't mean to keep harping on the sprite work, but I feel like, you know, the fucking game was overthought. They overthink what to do.
Yeah.
It's simplistic,
okay.
silly,
and
linear
also,
platformer.
Just the storyline to itself, though. You're looking at a game that's based off a cartoon. We already have the story. You know, the Warner Brothers get loose from the tower, and all this shit happens. This one, though, they're opening up a hip-hop shop. And look, I get it. Genesis was more of your, like, urban and, like, you know, kind of your more, like, that. I think they were trying to fit a demographic, and they even fucked that up as well. You know, like,
Yeah.
I really feel that way with it. Just, you know, they should have just stuck to the formula. And instead, like, I feel like they were like, oh, no, we can market this. If we're going to market it for the Genesis, well, you know, let's do this. And it's just like, no. No, now you're just being dumb. Where in the cartoon are they opening up a fucking hip-hop shop? What the fuck is a hip-hop store anyway? What is that?
What was
You
that?
tell me.
What was that store in the mall years ago, which just had FUBU stuff in the window all the time?
I don't fucking remember. Urban Outfitters.
Urban Outfitters. Well, I guess we do.
I don't fucking remember. Oh yeah, I do remember. You know, like, yeah, but like, dude, like, yeah, just what define to me hip hop store.
Shannon,
You know,
has there ever been another?
And wait, hold on. I don't mean to cut you off, but if you're trying to be Don Knotts, why in the fuck are you opening up a hip hop store?
Because he's from the streets.
Oh, Andy.
Recast Harlem Nights, but replace Eddie Murphy with Don Knotts.
Oh.
Red Fox could be like Dom DeLuise.
Oh my god.
Is this little era of gaming, this little 16-bit era, the era where developers overthought things the most because their biggest fear was people were getting tired of just linear platformers? When in hindsight's 2020 now, those are the games that are most fondly remembered. Look what they did to Godzilla on Super Nintendo. What the fuck was that? At least Japan got that shit right. Just make it a 2D fighter. But they overthought Godzilla. They did this so many times in the 16-bit era, and this was another case of it. I think games they overthought that actually panned out, one that comes to mind is Goof Troop. That's actually a fantastic co-op game on SNES. They thought outside the box. It paid off. This is the opposite of that.
Yeah, but wasn't Goof Troop post Donkey Kong Country?
I believe so. It could have been the same year, 94.
Yeah, I just kind of feel like maybe they might have borrowed from it a little bit. But, like, anyway, though, like, what I'm also...
This also
like,
94, this game.
Yeah. Like, and yeah, like, no, the Animated on SNES 2-player is fucking great. But, yeah, like, yeah, they overthought stuff. And also, it was the console war. So, like, you know, as far as contracts went, like, okay, so we have this contract with Nintendo. Well, Sega wants this game to be completely different on there, so it sticks out. You know, like, both of them want their games completely fucking different, so they sell. And I think that had a lot to do with some of it. That's why I like the Jurassic Park games are so drastically different. You know, like, yeah, the Jurassic Park game on Sega is a fucking platformer. The SNES one is an overhead, you know, like, game where you're going around. It's like a collection game, basically, like, to try to get the fucking helicopter to come and pick you up. Two very, very different games, you know. And I remember when the Jurassic Park games were being pushed to be sold. And it was, like, available on SNES and this, but, like, you know, they did really push, like, you could be the Velociraptor on the Genesis version. I didn't have a Genesis. I got the Super Nintendo version. I really enjoyed it, though. I liked it. You know, save file would have been fucking nice. But, like, you know, like, years later, then when I got to play the Genesis version, I'm like, this version fucking blows. But it sold really well because you get to play as the Velociraptor.
Yeah.
You know?
Rampage edition.
So, like, just little different shits like that. Yeah, once we hit that, I think once we hit the 3D era, there was definitely a big, you know, moment where we didn't have platformers. You know what? We had Yoshi's Island, and we had like little games like Rayman. You know, like there's little ones that would come out every now and again, but we didn't actually have any like real genuine too many platformers.
Everything just
And
turned to like fetch quest style for a while.
yeah, and then it went, but then they were like shit, like then they started re-releasing games like they had Contra 3D, that game fucking blows, and then they went back to the formula, like oh
Oh, you're
this
talking
works in 2D.
about Legacy of War on PlayStation?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Ugh.
yeah, yeah. I had that game.
I think I reviewed that game like 5 fucking years ago. Yeah, I did.
I had that game, and like I tried to really enjoy it and like it. Oh, excuse me, but of course, nothing beats a side-scrolling. What was that game that it was supposed to be Streets of Rage 4, but last minute they went ahead and changed the title. But it was 3D, and you definitely tell where it was supposed to be a Streets of Rage game, but they just went ahead and redid it because they were like, this isn't Streets of Rage, whatever, we can't market it as that. It was on PlayStation.
Fighting Force?
Yeah, something like that. I can't remember, but it sucked fucking balls. It was again a 3D brawler that was just horrible. But yeah, like you're right though. Like but now, like especially now here recently, because we have all these other developers that are developing these really kick-ass, 2D/3D games even because they have that availability to really polish them off and make them look really fucking good.
When we've had decades now from old school retro games to see what not to do when developing a game too, so that doesn't.
Yeah.
Hurt.
Yeah, but I mean, I think it's also easier to develop a 2D game than it is, a full three-dimensional.
Oh,
yeah.
You're talking 3 to 4 people as opposed to like a fucking,
team of like 200, 300 people.
Half the time, these indie pixel games now are just usually 1 or 2 fucking guys or girls.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fucking crazy.
That's our game of the week. Neither one of us recommend it. For collectors, I guess, if you want it.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely would be shelf candy. But also for collectors, get the Game Boy version then while you're at it.
And
I have the SNES cart for Animaniacs proudly, and I will not get rid of it.
Your best bet, guys, honestly, is just get the whole series on Blu-ray because it's such a great series.
Oh my god! Yeah. Well, dude, there is also the new series on Hulu, but I haven't really watched that.
I haven't either.
I watched the first. I watched the first episode, and that was about it.
I still need to watch fucking Beavis and Butthead, but I don't have Paramount. So.
Oh damn!
I heard they're alright.
Dude, some of them are fucking hilarious, and some of their riffs too now on music videos and shit. Like there's been shit that I've watched that I watched a lot of it with Joe Foist, and him and I were laughing to tears in his apartment one night.
Nice. So it's my pick as I rub my little hands together, and I'm gonna do something you usually do. I'm gonna blow your mind. I'm gonna take us to a handheld, Tannen.
Okay.
I'm gonna take us to the GBA, and I'm feeling like I need to look to the skies because it's the month of November now when this dropped. Not right now, but you know what I mean. And my picks this month are going to be more superhero centric and games that nobody talks about for better or worse. I have no clue if it's bad. I have no clue if it's good. I only played its big brother counterparts. From 2005, my pick for next week's Game of the Week for the GBA, Batman: Rise of the Sin Tzu.
Oh, yeah, I have that. I have that for PlayStation 2. Okay.
I'm interested to see what they did on the GBA.
Okay. Well, I was supposed to have it on the PS2, but yeah, I don't have it for the GBA. I'm interested to see it too because it wasn't the great. None of those games were really the greatest.
That bleak era of meh before the Arkham.
Vengeance was probably the worst fucking one that I've ever played.
God, yes. The interrogations.
but Sin Tzu it was okay. Like it was up there with God, what was that one that it was basically Batman the Animated Series, the game, had all the voice actors. Can't even remember now.
Well, it could have been worse. I could have picked Batman Beyond on Game Boy Color. And I have played that game, and it's fucking dog shit. So I didn't do that.
That's disappointing. So yeah, I'm up for that. Cool.
It's just disappointing because I think we can agree Batman Beyond's badass.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, God, yeah. Was there a Batman Beyond game for PlayStation?
I'm sure there was. Before we get out of here, I don't want to leave people on a cliffhanger, so let me fact check that real quick. Tana, one more time.
You need to fix that fucking creaky chair, my brother.
It doesn't. Somehow it does not pick up on the app barely, so that's good.
It picks up. Listen to the last recording.
Well,
Sounded like you were stalling something in the background.
When I figure out gravity, I'll get it done.
Figure out some WD-40, motherfucker.
You come wax my wood, Tannen.
Anyway, yeah, I don't know. You can find me. I'm on Instagram. I never check it, but of course you can go ahead and follow me on there. Tannen's Bomb, just like it was on Twitter, now known as X. You can always check me out on Facebook. I feel like my online presence is pretty nil. I'm thinking maybe start my own YouTube thing.
Oh, yeah?
Channel thing. Yeah.
Tannen's
But
Tidbits.
it's not. Yeah, Tannen's Tidbits. Not like that. I don't know.
It's like
just
commentary.
doing random shit. Like commentary or cooking. Showing people like, okay, today we're gonna make, and I'm gonna make it.
Well,
and I've never made it before, so we'll see how it goes.
If you need an editor, I got you.
Sweet. But yeah, as far as that goes, yeah, there's a really long few things. Of course, tune in weekly, or bi-weekly, depending on your schedules. I'm always here at the Reset Button.
Indeed, and as I said earlier, Horrors of Hibiki horror channel on Horrors of Hibiki on YouTube. We review horror movies, my buddy TJ and I, and now, yes, it's back. 8 years strong, just like this show, going since 2016. After a 2-year break, so technically 6 years strong. But we're back! My brother Mike and I, Slam Pigs podcast on YouTube if you're into pro wrestling. And right here, of course, again, please hit that red button below. Let people know we are still here, just in another home. We're not going anywhere. Great to be back. Great to get another one in the books as our Season 4 rolls on. Until next week, Tannen. See you later.